Zach here, full-time reseller, getting ready to jam out into the wilds today, go on safari and see if I can't find anything to buy and resell for profit. My plan of attack is this. I'm gonna actually stop by a rummage sale that I was at yesterday. Today's the first official day of them having the sale. I was able yesterday to pick through some jackets and look at some merchandise. I did pick up a few articles of clothing, but today I'm gonna go back and check out what they got. They were not done setting up yesterday, so I wanna go ahead and put my eyes on anything that I may have missed or not seen. And then I'm gonna head back over to an estate sale I was just at yesterday. They're gonna be discounting some of the prices. I'm gonna look around for some hard goods there, just see if I can find anything for a great deal. And then I'll spend the rest of the morning out doing garage sales. I love garage sales the most because I can buy stuff for super cheap. And our garage sale season here in northern New Mexico is winding down because the weather is getting a little bit colder. So follow along. Appreciate you joining. So just pulled up to the estate sale I was at yesterday. I'm not going to spend much time here. I spent way too much time yesterday trying to find a remote for a sound system. I kind of already know what they have out, but they are going to be dropping some prices this morning. And so my big take or my big look is for hard goods. I never have enough hard goods to resell. I love selling hard goods because they're easy to list. But the big reason I sell clothing and shoes mainly is because clothing and shoes are things that I can source year round. And they're also things that people constantly need. And so something I found out in my freshman year of reselling online is that it was really hard to find hard goods when the wintertime came around because most of the hard goods I was sourcing were from garage sales. And as I began thrifting more into the winter, I realized it was hard to keep a business afloat by trying to search for hard goods in a thrift store because sometimes the thrift stores just weren't real consistent. And I live in a smaller rural area, so I'm limited by how many thrift stores I have to go to. But I found real quickly that a lot of men are not crazy about reselling clothes in my area. And clothes are things that people constantly need, and they're not a want, like collectibles and hard goods and things like that. And so that's a big reason I sell clothes. But I'm going to race in here. I'm going to keep it quick, and then I'm going to probably double back to the rummage sale and see what I can't find before they start it. So follow along. Thanks again for joining. Alrighty, see what we can't find for a discount. Spice of Life stuff is good, it's sellable, and it's very collectible, and I've flipped a lot of it before, but gonna pass on this today, just a little priced up still. Thinking about making a move on this electronic Strategio game. I did check it yesterday, and it seems to have all the pieces, but some small pins. I'm sure somebody who's a board game collector could probably fill in the gaps. All right, so shoes are 50% off today, so I've already grabbed a pair of New Balances. I'm gonna probably get some Cole Haans, some Ariats. All those are great brands I resell, and that's a great price to grab them for. All right, so here is my haul for the second day at this estate sale. I got all three pair of these shoes for 50 cents a piece, and I'm gonna have to look up the Joseph Sabels and the Ariats, but I know that they're both good high quality brands, and I sell New Balance shoes all the time. And I went ahead and I got the Strategio electronic game. It looks to be complete with exception to missing the instructions manual. So all three of these are great finds. I only spent $3.50. Alrighty, so super happy with the $3.50 I invested at that estate sale. I'm glad I checked through the Strategio board game yesterday and kind of made sure that it had a lot of its pieces. I think that's going to be the best find of the day, but I also know when I'm able to find shoes that have the tag on, that's also incredibly helpful. And so it's just easier to sell stuff like that when it's new, even if it's without a box, and especially when you only pay 50 cents. So the Joseph Sabel shoes are gonna be a great flip for me. I'm sure the Ariat boots will be a great flip. And I definitely know that New Balance shoes with wider widths are a great seller. I will have to clean all those shoes, but none of them were extremely dirty. I'm not crazy about selling shoes because I hate cleaning them. But again, shoes are like clothes. They're something people need all the time and something people don't want to pay a premium for. So I'm racing off to the rummage sale, gonna see what I can't find down there. My next stop, I was just here yesterday and bought some clothes, but they didn't have everything out, as I said earlier, so I'm gonna race through just see if I can't find anything, give a hug to an old friend whose aunt owns this establishment, and then get back on the road and go hit some garage sales. All right, this is a set of 4 old Pyrex mugs. Wish they were Fire King. All right, I was kind of hoping these are Breyer horses, but they're not. They're just cheapies, so gonna skip them. Not too much at the rummage sale, but I was just here yesterday, and it was cool. Got to see a few old friends, but I'm gonna boogie now. I need to make up some time and find a bunch of garage sales before some of the other resellers get to them. All right, at a small estate sale, just kind of got here, looking around to see if I can't find anything good. A little small amount of success. I got a Spice of Life Corningware casserole dish. And I did try to make a move to get it for a little bit cheaper, but it was the first day of this estate sale, and I could tell the people just were a little emotional, so they didn't want to let anything go the first day for less than what they were asking. And that's all right. I did pay $5 for it. I forgot to film the footage of the grab, but that's okay. I was just kind of trying to rush, and I should be able to sell that little casserole dish for, I don't know, maybe 20 bucks or close to that. It's one of those things that sell consistently for me. Spice of Life stuff is very collectible. I did say that, I believe, in a previous video, or maybe that was this morning at another estate sale. But so much of reselling is just finding things that you know that you can sell consistently. And you may not make a fortune, but each time you make $15 to $25 or $30, it all adds up. And that is the key to how I make my living out doing this. So never be too proud to buy the things that you might not make a lot off of, but that you know will sell. And that's one piece of advice I want to give you. All right, and a garage sale, and it's kind of in the backwoods, having to walk down to it, see what we can find. So here is my haul from the last garage sale. The people just weren't real comfortable with me filming, and that's cool. I come across that a lot, and I always try to give people respect for their property and their premises. But I picked up this pair of Nike Air Maxes for $5, and then I got this pair of Adidas Freerider mountain bike shoes for $2. A pair of leather Keen slip-on shoes for women, and I think I paid $4. And then these Adidas spring blades, I did have to pay up on them. I think I paid $6 for them, but all these shoes still will sell for a pretty good profit. And haven't been coming across any real great shoes for the last week, so I'm okay with that. And gonna haul butt on to the next sale.
Do you buy, what do you call it? I got this.
Found some pretty nice hats with that are new with tag on, and the person's gonna sell them to me for a good deal if I buy a lot. So I'm gonna dig through. There's also some Oakleys and some Nike hats, but definitely gonna grab these two Hui hats because I love the Aztec pattern. It's a great brand, and people will buy this stuff pretty quick. This garage sale, and the person selling super cool. She actually went inside of her house to grab some FR outfits to show me, to maybe sell me. And so it never hurts to ask questions or just be friendly to people. This nice lady was cool enough to pull out a bunch of flame-resistant clothing. It is in very good condition, so I'm gonna dig through it and see what I can come up with. All right, so I just made a good deal on the lot of all of this FR clothing. There's some great Ariat pants, some great Ariat long sleeve and short sleeve shirts, as well as a really nice Carhartt jacket. And the individual who's selling them to me is also throwing in several pairs of some Timberland work boots and a bunch of new with tag baseball caps. And I'm just glad to get a great deal and glad to do business with somebody who's willing to barter. I was super happy. I just brokered a great deal with a really cool person who's just simply trying to create more space in her house. She's new to the area. She's living in a smaller home, and she's overwhelmed with too many clothes as she's got a bunch of kids. So I didn't have enough cash to give her all of the money, but I did give her $140 to hold what I did purchase. And I just got to go to the bank and pick up another 40 bucks. And I'm imagining, or just guessing, there's probably, I don't know, maybe $600 or $700 worth of clothing in there. I'll have to get home, sort it out, but it just was a deal I couldn't pass up. And deals like this don't happen a lot. And because I sell so much work and utility wear, it just was one that was kind of a no-brainer. But I had to get her down on the price, as she did want $200 for the whole lot. But it's well worth that, and it's some really nice stuff. So I'm gonna haul butt down the road, go to the bank, come back and pick it up, and I'll do a haul at the end. Thank you so much. That was a great deal. All right, so this is me muscling 25 different flame-resistant articles of clothing, 4 pairs of boots, and a whole bunch of new baseball caps. It's been 185 bucks, but it was a tremendously good deal I couldn't pass up. You gotta spend money to make money. All right, super stoked about the deal I just got on all that flame-resistant clothing. Much of it was Ariat. Bunch of different types of shirts, button-ups, pants in a good size. Some of the shirts are women's, but the sell-through rate was incredible still for women's FR shirts. And the jeans were in a good size, definitely in great condition. And there was a Carhartt FR jacket inside of the lot that will pay for half of what I just paid. And so you can't beat those kind of deals. If you come across them, grab them. It'd be dumb not to. So I'm gonna go ahead, probably wind it down for the day because it's now almost lunchtime and I find garage sales start fading out and the quality of what I find at garage sales starts to get worse as the morning progresses and as you get near to the midday hour. But don't give up. If you're having a hard day and you're struggling finding stuff, keep staying out there, keep looking. I am just content with what I bought today, so I'm probably gonna go home and share my haul with you. It's a lot. So back at my casa, tremendously great day of picking, especially for just being Friday. I did spend a lot of money today, but that's all right. It takes spending money to make money. As I just got home though, I realized that I'm a little shy of enough receipts to do all the inventory for the amount of items I bought. So I think what I might do is I'm gonna pack everything into the house here and I might have to double back to the neighboring town just to buy another receipt book. Usually I keep an extra one off hand, but today I just bought so much stuff that I know it's gonna eclipse the amount of receipts I have. So if you're getting into reselling, it's super, super important to keep good track of your inventory, to make sure and write out a receipt for it in case the government comes back on you and wants you to prove that you purchased it and that you did pay a certain amount for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring my haul in. I'll still share it with you at the end of this video. Today was just an incredible day of sourcing goods out in the wild to resell for profit. I was able to spend just a little over $200, but came back home with about 53 items. And so I'm gonna go ahead and break it down. I'm gonna separate the big lot of work utility items from some of the shoes and other things I bought earlier in the morning, but I couldn't be happier. I kept my mindset as the abundant one I always try to have when it's early in the morning. I set my intentions to be positive, to be friendly, and to inquire about things I like to buy to resell. And I'm really glad I did that because I wouldn't have came across all this flame resistant clothing and got a great deal from a really sweet lady who was just trying to liquidate some excess. So I'm gonna go ahead and step off this stool, get a little bit closer and break down some of this stuff and share with you my haul. Quickly share my haul with you, and again I'm going to start with some of the things I bought earlier this morning. But this jacket right in front here is something I bought yesterday at the rummage sale I was at this morning. I was lucky enough to know the owner and the owner's niece, so they let me run through the sale yesterday before it officially started, and I picked up this vintage Woolrich buffalo plaid hunting coat. It does have a little stain on the front pocket, but it was in tremendously good condition otherwise. And looking it up, I think I should be able to sell it for probably somewhere between $45 and $70. Gonna try to clean it up a little, but it is wool, so that will be tricky. And then I'm gonna drop down here. This pair of Joseph Chabelle leather shoes were new with tag on. These shoes were from an estate sale that I went to yesterday. Yesterday they had them listed for $25. Today I picked them up for 50 cents. That's incredible. I'm unsure of what they'll go for, but that is a very good brand. And for 50 cents, I just couldn't pass on them because there was new tag on. I'm going to drop down here. These are some Nike Air Max shoes. They're a little bit beat up, and I bought these this morning. I think I had bought 4 pairs of shoes for like less than 20 bucks. So these here, I might just wash them up and try to peddle them for 38 to 40 bucks, somewhere around there. If they were a little bit better condition, I'd get a little bit more for them. And so to the back here, this is a Corningware Spice of Life casserole dish. I wish I could have got it for a little bit less, but I sell Spice of Life items like this all the time. Coffee pots, casserole dishes. And then next to it, this is one that I just couldn't pass on. It was only $1. My grandmother, who is dearly departed, who I love a ton and miss, had one of these. She always kept her dish scrubber in it. For $1, I couldn't help but get it. Anytime I find something that my grandparents once had in their home, it's always a little bit of a sign to me that they're shining down, that they're looking out for me. I love them, I miss them, and if you still have your grandparents or people that are close to you that you love, just remember they're not going to be around forever. So I'll get off my soapbox and get back on it. Okay, again, this is a pair of those Adidas that I bought as a lot of 4. I looked up the sales on these, and they go for about 40 to 60 bucks. They need cleaned a little, but they were in exceptionally good shape. And then I also got a pair of these Keen women's loafers. I didn't pay much for these either. I got them in the lot of 4 pairs of shoes for the $20. I usually get around 30 bucks for these. I don't get a ton, but Keen are one of my favorite selling brands of shoes, so I just couldn't pass on them. They weren't in terrible shape. And then above here, this is a pair of Ariat women's leather boots. I got these at the estate sale. Again, these were $25 yesterday, and today they dropped the prices to 50 cents, just hoping to liquidate a whole lot of stuff. And so there's always something good about going back the next day or the day after when it's an estate sale, because oftentimes if they don't do good the first day, they start to drop the prices dramatically the next. And then I also got this pair of Adidas mountain bike shoes. These I only paid a couple dollars for. These sell pretty good. They're a little bit beat up. For $2, I couldn't pass them. I usually sell these for around $30 to $40, depending on condition. And then I got these New Balance shoes, again, for 50 cents at the estate sale. They do have a wide width. So any type of shoes that you can find that offer wide widths, such as New Balance or Keen or any of the premium brands, try to look for those wider widths. There's people out there looking for wider shoes, and that can be a huge selling point or help improve the sell-through rate. And then lastly, I got the electronic Stratego. It was listed for $4, but I got it for 30% off. It seems to have all the parts except for the manual. And I looked these up online yesterday when I was at the estate sale. They range from about $35 to $100. So I might price this right around $50 to $60 and just be patient. And if I have to drop the price, so be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the film for a second, back up and share with you all my sale from or my one buy that was all FR goods, and give me just a sec to zoom back out. Okay, so I purchased a lot of hats and flame resistant clothing from my last garage sale of the day. This is 12 different hats, all new with tags on. They are Nike, Oakley, a couple Columbia hats, and then there's a couple cool Hui hats that have the beautiful Aztec pattern. I am gonna keep one of these Hui hats just because I love Hui. I love the design on it, and I might end up giving my younger son one of the Nike hats, maybe even give my dad one, and I might even ship one of the Oakley hats to my son who's overseas and in the military. He loves Oakley, and when I can pick stuff up like this for as cheap as I got it, why not share the wealth? I just love that about this job. So I'm gonna go ahead and back up and share some of the flame resistant clothing with you. I'll start off with this 2 pair of Timberland steel toe boots. I could have went either way, but she wanted to go ahead and get rid of these boots, and she threw them in on the deal. They are a smaller women's size, and that's okay. At least they're Timberland, and they are steel toe. So I'm unsure what they'll go for, but I've sold Timberland boots in the past. That's what Timberland is known for, is big boots. And so I couldn't pass up the deal. She was just going to throw them in. They do need a little bit of cleaning. They are a little beat up, but that's all right. I sell a lot of work utility boots like this, and so I'm going to angle over. A lot of the FR shirts are predominantly Aria, and they are women's, but I checked the sell-through rate on them, and it's right around 100% for women's button-ups and long sleeves, and so I wasn't too concerned about it. I've sold a lot of flame-resistant women's clothing in the past. There is a little bit of Walls and Rasco, Lapco, and even a Bulwark FR shirt in the lot. I think there's one right there. And there's also a couple crew neck long sleeve FR shirts. And so I'm gonna go ahead and spin through the rest of this. This is a Carhartt FR hoodie. This still has the tag on it. She never used it. It is a little bit of dust. There's a little dust on it from being in storage. And then there's also this thermal headgear. I'm unaware of the brand. I'll probably have to look it up. Not even sure if I'll resell this, but she just threw it in. Now, this here is a big score. One of my favorite things to sell is Carhartt canvas jackets. When I originally was trying to work the deal with her, I just wanted to buy the jacket, but she wanted $100 for it. And I'm used to paying about $5 to $20 for used Carhartt jackets. And because this was a woman's jacket, despite being in good condition and having the Sherpa lining, I just didn't want to pay $100 for it when I can sell it for about that amount. However, working a deal with her brought the price down, and I'll share that overall price with you at the end. Now, here is a bunch of Ariat jeans, and these are all flame resistant. I sell the heck out of these. I typically sell them for about $25 to $30, depending on condition, but a lot of these are in great shape. There was only like one pair that were distressed with stains, so I was super impressed by it. She told me she had something like $2,800 invested into flame resistant clothing at one time when she once worked in the industrial labor sector. And so I bought 44 items from her total today. And when I broke it down by dividing it by the $185 I invested, I spent an average of $4.20 on all of these items. That would be the hats as well as all the flame resistant shirts, the jacket, and all of the pants I bought from her. And $4.20 is a great price, considering a lot of times I will pay upwards of $10 to $12 for Ariat FR jeans in a thrift store. I'm super happy with today's haul. I'm gonna go ahead and wind it down because I know I'm probably dragging along, but just know there's great deals out there. the thing that helped me with buying all these hats and the FR clothing was just inquiring, was just asking and telling her that I was really into selling work utility wear. She didn't have a lot of this stuff out for sale. She did have the hats out, but nonetheless, I got a great packaged bundle deal, and this is going to keep me busy for the rest of the afternoon inventorying. So making an inventory and writing receipts, I should say. But thanks again for following. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I hope you find them insightful. I'm working to get better at them all the time. I'm trying to produce more full-length videos and share with you how I resell the things I find to buy. And I enjoy doing that. I love giving instructions. I am just in my sophomore season of reselling online on eBay, but I have resold a lot of stuff over the years. And so thanks for joining. I appreciate your viewership. As always, if you like this video, please reach out there, hit that like button, make a comment if there's something that appeals to you or you want to say to me. I don't mind the feedback. And as always, please, please, please subscribe. Thanks again.